He was just a good old man that I met on the road. He had been done wrong also. He never did anything. J. Edgar Hoover just put him in jail because he was friends of people that did something, and he wouldn't snitch, and he wouldn't tell. In other words, he held his mud for 48 years. No, when I heard Timothy Leary say, tune in and drop out, I knew where they were dropping out to because I had been under that, on the under road, on the back side of what's happening, you know. In other words, in the darkness. I like Terry. Terry's a nice, gentle person. He's a peaceful person. He doesn't lie. He's treated me right. I would consider him a friend, but I think all this madness scared him. I think it scared him to thinking that I'm somebody that I'm not, you know. A lot of people think that Manson is some great monster, but the only monster Manson is what the media created and the district attorney created. Do you guys realize what's going to happen to this country because of that case? When you can go to college, son, and learn to be a lawyer, and then you can go to a district attorney's position and do anything you want, that makes you the leader of this country. You can put anybody on trial and say anything you want to say and tell any lie you want to lie. Why spend billions of dollars for a school study criminology when all they do is sit up on the witness stand and lie? Just lie, and then you don't need the schools, you know. And the whole thing was a big sham. It was a big act for the world, man. A big play that they put the children on trial for trying to stop the war, and then all the people like Joan Baez and what's that other chick's name, Jane Fonda, and all those people, they'll scream and they'll holler for the kids to do something, and then when the kids do it, then they say the kids are all fucked up, you know. And the only ones that bring change since time began is the young people. The young people are the ones that have to suffer the sufferings to change the system. Well, we're still working to change the system. We're still improving the system and working within the system. My goodness, man. Did you see Jerry Rubin stand up in the TV camera with an M16 and say, raise up children, kill your moms and dads? You didn't see that? You don't remember that? Sure. Well, you didn't put him on trial. You got Charlie Manson and put Charlie Manson on trial. Did you hear A.B. Hoffman go through all the colleges and give all the speeches to all the young minds about how to shoot cocaine, how to deal with your dope, and how to play in that underworld? And then at the same time, he never spent 3 days in jail. He owns the judge. He buys and sells judges. And he rides on the top of you children. Then he'll go back and play like he's hiding. Let me explain something to you. To hide from the FBI in the United States of America is almost an impossibility. Slick Willie Sutton, one of the slickest crooks in the world, couldn't do it. You got Patty Hearst, and you got her acting like she's on the run from the law. She was never on the run from the law. She was in the FBI office all the time. You know, and then you got A.B. Hoffman that acts like, oh, well, we're with you kids. All right, you kids, you go do this, and then the kids run and do it, and then who gets the blame? You know, the kids get the blame. And then the kids go down and let me take you to Strawberry Field where nothing is real but the medication in the nut warts. And then they cut their wrists and write, I love you, God, all over the walls and hang themselves on the ventilators, you know. I smoke grass. And I've lived around drugs all my life. And I've lived around booze all my life. I'm not against anything. I'm against the misuse. You can misuse anything, man. You know, you can say the guy's hooked on marijuana. And to some people, that's a reality, you know. And then they say one drug leads to another. And other people, that's a reality. But the younger people don't see how those thoughts became a reality. Why are we fighting drugs? Why do we spend millions and millions of dollars fighting drugs when you can sell it in the drugstore and it wouldn't be a problem? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You know, the whole thing is silly. It's not the drugs that are bad, and it's not the people that are bad. It's all the mess that you've got created around the misunderstanding of the drugs. There's nothing wrong with drugs. if you were sick in the hospital and they come and give you a shot to take away the pain, you appreciate the drugs. I think God put everything there for us to use. If we misuse it, that's our fault. And one way we're misusing it, we're fighting against the power that we're not going to overcome. We have to flow with the flow of those drugs. Now, if I can't sue, it's okay too. Then I'll start a revolution. I won't say that I've already got one going, but look around you and maybe you'll see that it's like this. A guy comes up to you and he's called the district attorney. He's got all these guys and he handcuffs you and he sets you down. And he says, you're going to play this game whether you want to play it or not. So they start dealing out cards. And they deal you hippie cult leader. You don't know what a hippie cult leader is. There's never been a hippie cult leader. So you got to go find out what a hippie cult leader is. You know, you say, all right, I got a hippie cult leader card. I got 9 murder cards. I'm supposed to be responsible for making all these people do all these things. I'm supposed to have this awesome power to move people to destruction and have the power of the presidency that I can put troops in the field and have them go out and fight and die and take other people's lives for me. I'm a whole government by myself, convicted to be that. That's not me. But they convicted me for Nixon. They gave me all of Nixon's problems, all of Nixon's children. And then they say, I'm Nixon, they convict me and throw me into jail. And then every one of my friends that you call my family, were my friends, not my family, my friends. They didn't have any friends. The district attorney has no friends. His friends is his dollar bill and his wife that tells him what to do. Okay? So I've got friends. And he doesn't like me because I got friends. He hates me because I got friends. Because he wants to have friends, but he doesn't know how to have friends. He plays tennis with himself. You see him in college, and they study their books and they get real good and they're proficient in what they do, you know. But they're still distorted in their makeup because they haven't accepted that there is someone else in the world, you know, besides their own selfish interest. Who told you that? No, I hadn't. No, I hadn't even thought of anything like that. Helter Skelter was painted on different things, man. It was a reflection of why don't we do it in the road? You know, that was you see, you guys gotta realize, man, I'm 50 years old. Bing Crosby was my heartthrob. Frank Sinatra was my hero. Not the Beatles. In other words, Dean Martin lives right across the river from where I live in Wheeling, West Virginia. I'm from Kentucky. I'm a Kentucky boy. You know, in other words, like, it took me 20-some years to get to California. Some of you guys are born and raised in California because your parents came here, but, man, I got no thought, you know. I'm not into the same things you guys are into, you know. Not now, and not during the 60s. In other words, my generation was the 30s. I was raised up during the Depression. You guys don't even know what it's like to be hungry. You know, there's a difference, you know. And the kids that were running in the street, when I got out, I liked them. I really did. You know, if they were my kids, I'd be awful proud of them. Even though they did some dirty, terrible things, they still stopped the war. They did it, you know, and they probably saved a lot of their brothers' lives. But they're still in jail and they have to take the blame for it. But they're not accepted as political prisoners, you know, because some DA had to make up something. Or someone else tell a lie and say, well, he did it for money. Or he did it for, and there's all kinds of motives that they play with, but do you ever think he didn't do it? You know, you're always looking for the motive before you find out whether that he did it. And then another thing is, you go to court in this country, and it says, they're not interested in why you did it. They're interested in if you did it. But why you did it should be an issue also. Why are the children doing what they're doing?
What you call your
friends? I have a
friends?
massive family. My will, I say open my hand, it opens. I say close my hand, it closes. that my will, my hands, my fingers, me, my heart, my soul, myself, me. I have earned that. It's like I told the judge, I know, God knows, and the Holy Spirit knows. And what you're selling down in the marketplace, your children are going to have to work that off. So I would suggest you not sell them a whole bunch of lies, you know, but they continue to sell that damn helter-skelter trip that had nothing to do with me. Helter-skelter, to me, was a nightclub in the desert. And I cut the card game a nickel. So I could buy dune buggy parts and go out and play in the desert.